Hey, everybody. Welcome. It's the middle of the month, January 2024, first quarter. We just heard about the convention contest at Super Saturday. It's aligned perfectly with all of this extra bonus money that we can earn this month for this build your own incentive. If you enroll 6 people, $400 bonus, which is amazing. If you've already gone silver, you can enroll 6 people and earn basically like a fast start double silver bonus. If you retain 3 people from November or December, $200 more bonus. And if you help 3 people on your team rank up to silver or senior silver or gold, $400 more. So that is a $1,000 bonus that you can earn no matter what rank you are at. And it aligns perfectly with our convention contest. It earns you a ton of credits if you do it and keep doing it. So I'm really excited about where we're at right now. And it's only halfway through the month. Anything can happen. But I say that with a caveat because I have sometimes heard people be like, you know what? Anything can happen. Anything can happen, but you need to be showing up and you need to be creatively, innovatively putting the pedal to the metal, putting action to your words. So we're going to open up tonight in prayer. And before I pray, I want to share a scripture with y'all. 1 Peter 5:6. It's a familiar one. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. And I just want to remind us all that every bit of this is God's. Every bit of this business that he has called you to build is his, and that he has purposes for it, kingdom purposes for it, and that we can humble ourselves and lay it before him and say, God, reveal my why to me so that I will care enough to work on these things even when I don't feel like it. Reveal to me what your purpose is in calling me to do this and convict me in it. Make me care about it more than just, I don't feel like it, I'm cold today. He is sovereign. He works in the affairs of men. If you don't believe our work has kingdom significance, you are wrong, because we are in the people business and people are an eternal investment, and people are ineffective when they are struggling and barely surviving. You are ineffective when you are struggling and barely surviving. And so a huge part of what happens when we start Plexus is we begin to exit the chains of bondage that come with poor health. And then we begin to share that with people and they exit those chains of bondage. And then talk about other chains of bondage, debt, financial struggle. Those are huge chains of bondage. And when you don't have enough to fill up your gas tank or put food in your refrigerator, you certainly aren't thinking about how to provide and help others. Another thing we do a lot of in Plexus is thought work. We take our thoughts captive in this business and we start to examine what they are creating for us and what they're creating for others. And it can be startling sometimes to realize, oh my goodness, that thought is completely immobilizing me and keeping me from obeying God's calling and blessing other people. We do a lot of thought work here. And so that, I think, it has kingdom significance. I can speak for so many of my level ones who are on this call who can hands down testify that being a part of this team and the mindset work that we've done as a result of building this business has brought so many fears to the surface and so many mindset obstacles and doubts and things that completely make us ineffective, not just in Plexus, but in lots of areas of our life. So God has his hand in this and he cares about it. So let's humble ourselves and lay it before him that he may exalt us in due time. We can do the work and trust him for the increase, but we do need to be diligently doing the work, diligently and consistently. All right, so let me open us up in prayer. Dear Lord, we acknowledge you in every single bit of this. You are sovereign. You care about the affairs of this world. You care about something that seems even as temporal as a business. We know that you have so many parables in your word that say that when you give us resources, you expect us to steward them well and multiply and increase them, all for your glory, all for kingdom impact. So very specifically, God, I want to ask that you, hang on, I wrote these down, y'all. Okay, I want to ask that you show us what to post. I want you to bring people to our minds Who do you have in store to join this opportunity and community? What blessings do you have for them? Please put our posts in front of the right people. God, as I was taking notes today, preparing for this call, I had the image of little David, the shepherd boy, before he was King David, in front of Goliath. The courage that he had to say, I'll fight that giant. We do not need impressive credentials. We do not need an impressive suit of armor. We need only to be called to the task by you and shown what to do by you. And I laugh at how wacky it must have seemed to David when you told him, go find these 5 little stones and get your slingshot ready. And that's what you're going to do. We feel like that sometimes, Lord, when we feel so unqualified or incompetent to go out there and build this massive business, or to go reach out to someone who's massively intimidating, and we don't have impressive credentials and we don't have an impressive toolbox, but you're saying, go reach out to this person. Here's a slingshot, here's a few stones. And it feels so wacky, but give us the courage of little David. Give us that courage, Lord. We lay it at your feet. We humble ourselves before you. We acknowledge that this is yours and we are your servants. We ask that you help us tonight to come away with innovative ideas to shake things up. Some of us are new to this business. We're in new momentum, rocking and rolling. And some of us feel a little oldie moldy. And we feel a little stuck. And we are needing not just ideas for how to shake it up, but new energy. And we are needing new belief. And I ask that you deliver on that tonight, Lord. I know you can, and we ask that you do it. Please be with Brandie. Please be with Megan, and every word that they share. And just, we trust that everything that will be shared has a purpose, that it needs to land on someone's ears tonight. So be with each of our speakers tonight. Thank you so much, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. It's in your name we pray. Amen. Okay, I'm gonna kick it over to you, Megan. You're gonna introduce Brandie for us tonight. We're so excited.
All right, Brandie, I'm so excited for you guys. She actually shared at Super Saturday at our house last weekend and did such a phenomenal job. Oh, there she is. Hello. So some of you know our story together, which is basically that I didn't know Brandie. We were just connected through, I guess, mutual friends on Facebook, and randomly, not randomly, divinely orchestrated moment of one of my summer days, I just was messaging through some people on Facebook and like, hey friend, I know we don't know each other in person, but just wanted to connect with you really quick and say I would love to share more about the products that have blessed our family. It's helped us with XYZ, and curious if you're open to hear more. Anyways, that was the catalyst for a lot of things that have happened since that wonderful July day. And so Brandie is actually pretty much local to me, and we have become friends, and the products have been such a huge blessing to her. And she actually just ranked up to Fast Start Senior Gold and swept the entire Punta Cana contest. And so we want to hear from her tonight because stories like hers are inspiring, and you may take one teeny tiny little nugget from what she shares, and it can revolutionize in a second your whole entire 2024 and beyond. So, Brandie, I am super, super excited. There's still people popping on. I'm excited for you to share. So, I'm just going to let you share your perspective and your take on the story.
Okay, well, hello everybody. Some of you are hearing this for maybe the second or third time, and that is totally fine because you can correct me if I say things wrong because I don't always get my timeline. It all happened so dang fast that it's like I don't know when things happen. But I will start at the beginning. Back in July, I started products. Megan, I think at your house, I kind of nailed you on the fact. She's like, how many times did I ask you? And I'm like, you asked me, I think 3 different consecutive months. Like she just kept asking and she kept asking. And I never really gave her a solid no, but I was like, inside, definitely a no, you know. But the products started doing their thing. And by the end of August, I was like, okay, people need to know about this. Backstory, I do have Lyme disease, these products have been a lifesaver for me. So I'm not going to talk so much about the products as I'm going to the business tonight, but that is what got me started. And I just thought like, okay, people need to know about this. It has changed my health as it has all of you. That's why we're all here. And I needed to share. So in September, I made a post. I hosted a party. I hosted another party. I hosted another party. And all of a sudden, I was like, Fast Start Silver, Fast Start Senior Silver. My first month, I made over, I think it was $1,070, somewhere around there. And I wasn't done, but I almost was. So fast forward to October when I was like on cloud nine, having people sign up, really excited, really sharing my heart. I was in the cab of my tractor when I was pulled to a halt and told by someone that I love very much that I should not be doing this. And, you know, I don't want to go into depth there because I don't want to waste your time, but I had to really consider whether or not I wanted to keep doing this because this is someone that I really respect and that I work very closely with. But my husband was really supportive. And around that same time of me thinking like, is this for me? Should I keep going? That was the same amount of time where like my customers had been on the product for about a month. And I started getting testimony after testimony after testimony of my people telling me how good they felt. And I was like, okay, God, like I hear you loud and clear. We're going to keep going. So I kept going. And fast forward to now, I ranked to senior gold on like December 30th. I don't know. It was like literally the last minute I ranked up to senior gold. As Megan said, I did earn the Punta Cana trip. I swept it. And I'm just going to tell you, I almost didn't do this because it was an MLM. I almost did not do Plexus, period. I wasn't going to do supplements. I wasn't going to do any of it because it's an MLM. And we have all been burned by one. Like we just have. That's just part of it. And so I almost said no, but I didn't. I went ahead and did it. And you guys, this has changed my life. Like it's totally changed everything for me. I would have given up a huge opportunity if I had said no. So, you know what? People are chiming in and saying me too. Some of your top leaders were saying no at the beginning. And some of them didn't start sharing right away because they were like, no, I don't want to share. We don't want to be that girl. Nobody wants to be that girl. Anyway, so I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you how much I make. You guys ready for this? Since September, I have made $8,058.98. And I haven't even gotten, like, I'm just assuming that's what's in my bonus check. I think there's probably more than that. Over $8,000 that I wouldn't have had if I hadn't taken this opportunity. Now, I work my butt off. It hasn't been like, now I have a couple people who are like, God will provide and God will bring this to me. And just like Carissa was saying, when we're talking about, we are to lay it before him and it is in his hands. But I was just listening to Brittany Howard yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, on the leadership. And she was talking about the parable of the talents and things like that. And, the one who sat and hid his talent and waited around when he came back, you know what he said? They said, you lazy and wicked servant, depart from me. And I don't want to just rest on my laurels. So when I've been given this plan, as Carissa was talking about, like we've been given this for some reason, you got to take it and you got to run and you got to do it. So I'm going to tell you really fast how I got here. Okay. Because that's what everyone wants to know. To get to where I have been and where I want to keep, like what I want to keep doing, I do every single thing that my upline tells me. Like when Megan gives me a task, I do it. Tuesday team calls, when there's assignments, I do them. Momentum group, when there are challenges, I do them. I am not stuck. Like I'm not just sitting back and waiting for people to come to me. Have I been lucky in the fact that people do come to me? Well, yeah, a lot of us have in that aspect. But like as far as my tried and true customers, I have had to go and get them. And it has not been easy, but I always remind myself like Megan was a cold, it wasn't necessarily, I don't like using the word cold reach out because she wasn't cold in it at all, but we did not really have much in common. She was literally just reaching out to me about the products. The fact that Megan actually offered me to not take it. I say that one thing that Megan did that taught me something is that when she brought up Plexus to me, she was like, oh, and if this interests you, that's great. And if not, that's okay too. That I use that all the time. I give people the option to tell me no all the time. And that makes it way less awkward when you see them in public. And second of all, it gives them the option to say no. And when you give them that option, they think a little bit harder about whether or not they want to say no. So that is kind of, I also today, I wanted to show you guys in case you didn't see it. I have never done this. I always see Megan do it. I always see the bigger uplines, right? All our OGs are doing this. I made my first big number board of my goals because when you get comfortable, like I'm comfy, right? Senior gold, that could be pretty comfy. But instead, I'm like, no, 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 no. We are not done yet. We are just getting started. And if you went to Super Saturday, you probably heard that a lot. Like, we're just getting started. We're just getting started. I think Emily Roberts even said that. Like, girlfriend is on the top of the top, and she's like, oh, I'm just getting started. So I am at that point now where I am facing reality of I probably will start to see setbacks. I have been pretty uphill right now and I'm ready. Like, I am so ready to see a setback because I have goals. And if you are not setting goals, go do it right now because I feel like that has made a huge difference in my mindset as well. Before, I've just been going with the flow. So anyway, that's what I have. I mean, that's kind of been my journey so far.
Awesome.
Tracy has goals.
Yes. Okay, if you guys have any specific questions for Brandie, pop them in the chat really quick. But I wanted to highlight a couple of things that she may not have even realized we were doing, but I was very extremely intentional to follow the system. Some of you know the system. Some of you don't know the system yet, but it's very simple. Emily Gibson teaches it. She just taught it on Ignite Week if you were on that training. We're going to talk about it tomorrow morning in the Power Hour / training tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. If you want to join in Central Standard Time, feel free. So it is called the PLP, but I have re-acronymed it PLLP. And the slight shift is when someone comes to me and says, hey, yeah, I'm game for sharing, or I message them and I'm like, hey, would you be open to sharing this with friends? Whatever way, shape, or form that they're like, yes, then we start working through the PLLP and I go as fast as they are game. So my goal is to help them make a post right away, as fast as possible. She told me no. So guess what I did? I asked again and again. And I was just like excitedly like, what if she does? What if she says yes? What could the possibilities be? Okay. And it's totally fine if she says no. Totally fine. I'm just filtering. I'm just filtering to see who's game for sharing. Okay. Take the drama out of it. Don't be personally offended if people don't respond or they don't, whatever, they don't say yes, or they just totally don't answer you and ask a different question or tell you about how their products are going. Okay. It's part of the process. You have to so believe in the process because the process works. But it's that inner grit that we have to be open and game for helping as many people get started on the products as possible, continuing to ask people to join for the business, even at even the first initial ask. For whatever reason, I didn't reach out to her about the business. I reached out to her about the products. I let intuition guide me on that. Sometimes I legit will message someone point blank about the business because I either see something in them, I think they would be good at it, whatever. On a whim, I decide to just message 20 people about it that particular day. Whatever way, shape, or form, you just have to be okay doing that. And then asking every single person. That's the PLLP system. And that is your duplication system. It works. It totally works. And I feel bad for anyone that joined me in the first 6 years of my business because I did not do that. But the more systematic you can be, the less overthinking, the less drama you will have, the more confident you will be because you have a system and you're just following the little checklist. And if someone says no, it's okay. You go to the next person, okay? And eventually someone is going to say yes. So the first thing that we do is have them post. And Brandie made, I asked you to post, but did I send you what to say? I can't remember how the first post went down.
No, actually, first of all, I'm going to go backwards just a little and tell someone the verbiage that Megan sent me was something along the lines of, hey, I see that we're in a lot of groups together. I just wanted to see if you had ever heard of Plexus and if you would be interested in talking about it or something like that. And then she said, and if not, that's totally fine, but let me know if you do. And that's kind of where it got started because we are in a lot of circles. I'll have to message you later, but I found another part of our circle
Oh,
just today. But anyway,
did I ask you to
so
post first, or did you already do that?
Do what?
When you started to share, did you just automatically make a post? I can't remember now.
I told you that I was going to,
Okay.
but you guys, I had not been open about my Lyme situation publicly. My circle, like everyone in the community, knew about it, but I hadn't posted anything about it on Facebook. So I actually kind of told my Lyme story and how bedridden I had been and things like that. And then how these products had changed me. It really wasn't even to post about the products. But it kind of was. And once I got likes on that, I was like, hey, Megan, I put up this post and then we started, I think I made a second post that was a little bit different. And then that's when we had the in-person party. And I mean, I've Megan, you maybe remember the number too, but I had like over 100 likes on that. And the comments, I mean, 58, 56, somewhere around there comments. First of all, people were shocked that I was coming out with Lyme, especially the ones that did know that I was struggling because I had been so private about it. But then other people kind of came out of the woodwork and they're like, hey, I have this autoimmune and this autoimmune. And you guys, I met with someone today that had Lyme disease and I signed her up because she knew that I had the same symptoms and stuff. But that's kind of where it started was.
Yes, I'm remembering now because actually I think maybe we had talked about you sharing, but then you went and made a post and it wasn't the post I typically have people share. I usually prefabricate a very, very simple like two-liner. Hey friends, super excited about these all natural supplements my friend Megan told me about. It's helped her with XYZ, helped me with XYZ, or I'm looking forward to XYZ. Who wants to try this with me? So that's typically what I have people share. Brandie took it upon herself to just make her own super vulnerable, amazing post with a great picture. Like her first post was like 1,000% better than what I would have sent her to post for her first post. But it was organic to her. It came from her heart. It was very effective. And so then from there, typically what I have people do is make a list of people that they think could benefit from the products, or just make a list off the people that have commented or liked on the post. Sometimes you make a post or help someone make a post and there's nothing. And it's okay. Then you go to the next thing on the list, which is make a list. And then we do a live and a party. Sometimes we mix those up. Sometimes we mesh them together within the party if someone is not used to social media. But we ended up doing, and this is what I do with local people. I really try hard to do this with locals, is 2 events back to back in person, and then follow up with an online event. Sometimes the order of that is changed depending on logistics and what works the best, but that is the system. It is so incredibly simple. You can PLP all day long. PLP yourself. When was the last time you posted? When was the last time you went live, made a list, and did a party? Like a house party. When was the last time? So that is the rinse, wash, repeat system for yourself and for people on your team. That is how you grow a team. That is how you leverage and how you scale your business. Did you want to say something else, Brandie?
I was just going to say, I'm going to answer a couple questions first. Sarah and someone else asked about my testimony. I have not written one out yet, and I need to because I have to be so careful. Like when you are dealing with a specific disease or something, I have to be very careful about what I am saying. And I have not figured out the correct verbiage to use. Jess, you are the one. Jess and Sarah both asked for. So I will come up with a testimony, I promise. And I will try to do that this week. But I have to be so careful about my verbiage and what I'm saying. But I was also going to say, things that scared me were I was terrified to have a party, my first party, because I didn't think anyone would come. And I'm going to tell you right now, my closest friends were not in the room with us. It was people that I really didn't expect to even be here. And that has been really shocking to me. If you are reaching out to only your best friends and they're telling you no, first of all, that's okay. Like my best friends support me in other ways. I have two girls that I can literally say, hey, nobody liked my post today. Will you go love it? And they will go do it. Like they will go do it. And then I have all sorts of people liking it. So there's that. Have them support you in that way. But my team is my best friends aren't on there. I have a whole bunch of circles of friends that are not even customers of mine. So reach out to people who you think need this. It doesn't have to be your next door neighbor. Like it should be, like you still need to be talking to them, but these aren't going to be your best friends all the time. And that's okay. That's totally fine. You will build a different community because of this. And now you've got a Plexus community and you've got your homeschool community and whatever you have, your church community. They don't all have to be the same. That's okay. You know,
Very
it's
true.
fun if you have a friend doing it, but
Yes, exactly. So fun. Brandie, thank you so much for sharing. And Carissa, do you have any
thank you.
out there?
Yeah.
Do what?
Also,
Oh, sorry. I'm
oh,
trying to.
Megan, are there any people in the waiting room that need to be let in? Just
I
asking.
didn't see any.
Okay, okay. Okay, so I love that Brandie pointed out having goals and not just going with the flow, but having actual goals. Y'all talked about the systems really well. So Megan, another thing we chatted about today was like thinking like a business owner. Is there anything more you wanted to say about that?
Nope, take it away.
Okay. Okay. Well, another one too, Megan commented that when they hosted Brandie's first party and the people started coming in, she was like, oh my gosh, these people are amazing. These are high quality people. So to go back again to, do you have a list of people that are high quality? Are you praying over that list? Because what happens when you're aware of the girl that you see at the coffee shop every week and you're praying over her name, then the next time you see her, what does the Holy Spirit do? Convicts you. Hey, there's that girl again, that girl that you've been praying for. Wonder what's going on in her life. Have you asked? Wonder if she has a need. Have you asked her if she's ever heard of Plexus? You start to, when you are praying over those people, you will feel that conviction to start that conversation with them. Also, when it comes to being somebody who attracts high quality people, are you part of our book club that we're studying? Megan's leading tomorrow, right? How to win friends and influence people. So the people skills, if you do not feel like you attract high quality people, if you do not feel like someone like Brandie would respond well if you reached out, would want to be on your team if you asked her to be, then let's dive into that book. Let's grow those people skills. These are absolutely learnable things. You are not stuck where you are in that. Which I think the next thing we wanted to chat about was like our belief, you guys. Belief equals momentum. And if you ever hear yourself saying, "Oh, I've already tried that. It didn't work." Or I'm doing all the things. If you ever hear yourself be like, "I'm doing all the things," then you have already shut your brain off. You have already turned your brain off. We want to be in that place of innovating. We want to be in that place of what else can I try? And you know what? Something I tried last week that didn't work could work this week. Or something that worked great last week might not work great today. So if we're in that space of, oh, I'm doing all the things, nothing's working, or I've done that, I've already tried that, or I've already learned that, I've already watched that training or heard that testimony or shared that testimony, or I've already shared my testimony, you know, we need to get to a place of, what if it works this time? What can I try? And so on that note, I would encourage you all to follow innovative people. Trisha Rieger is one of my favorites to follow, not because every single thing she does is going to work the same for me, but because she is innovative. She is always coming up with fresh new things to try. And the industry is changing. It's changing for us too. I mean, the way I built 9 years ago is not what's working right now in every way. And so I'm right there with y'all. If you feel like one of those oldie moldies, I'm right there with you going, oh, what do I need to try that's working right now? So getting creative with that. And then the only that I think, oh yeah, the only other thing that I wanted to point out too is just, are you showing up excited? Like, are you showing up believing? I loved what you said earlier, Megan. I wrote it down in our chat. What if she says yes? Okay, so often we don't even take an action because we're so afraid of what if they ignore me, or what if they think poorly of me? Or what if they say no? Me, my feelings will be hurt. But what if we approach these actions from a place of excitement and expectancy? And what are the possibilities if she says yes? And what we need to be bringing to those conversations is energy, high energy. And, we joke about this, Megan and I do, but like it's going to feel louder and more unnatural than you think it should in order to show up with high energy in conversations, voice messages, phone calls, live videos, social media. Like it's going to feel a little bit awkward to bring the energy level up to where it needs to be. But it's so essential if you want to attract high energy people. The only other thing, Meg, again, if you think of anything else, chime in. But the only other thing I forgot to say at the beginning was, y'all, I know that there are so many amazing things out there right now. There's Ignite Week with Emily Gibson. That's a small fee for a paid training, and there are lots of business coaches. These Tuesday nights we offer for free. And we really want to increase the attendance on these. And so just a reminder to you all again that people need coaching. Okay. People act from a thought and a feeling, and whatever they are doing or not doing to share and build this business traces back to something they feel and something they are believing. And the only way to change what we believe is to slow the Ferris wheel of thoughts down. We have a Ferris wheel of thoughts that's always going, always going in the background. And the only way that someone can get off the Ferris wheel or someone new can get on is you've got to slow it down and have it come to a stop and become aware. So that's what we do on these coachings is we become aware of the beliefs that are completely immobilizing people from taking action, or the beliefs that are causing people to take ineffective action. We slow those thoughts down so that old ones can get off and new ones can get on. People need coaching. You can be that person for them. You don't need me and Megan to be that person. You can be that person too, but why not benefit from every single brilliant mind in this company? We're one plexus because everybody's pay point goes up when we have a great sales month. That's why we're here to support each other. So you get to be that person's leader, that business owner, but bring them here. It is high impact IPA to bring people to these calls. So tomorrow there's a power hour, 7:30 a.m. Same link, right, Megan? This link. Okay. So there's a power hour. That's like a guided work session. So just giving you actions to go and take and gathering, borrowing courage from each other. We're going to do that tomorrow. But consider it IPA. Every time there's a call happening, every time there's a Super Saturday going down, every time there's any event whatsoever, to not come alone to that, to bring people to it. And I forgot to say that at the beginning. Megan, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Ready for closeout and homework?
Oh, sorry. Yes. But hey, let me say one other thing.
Yes. Okay.
Someone said in the chat earlier, what do you do if no one shows up? And Brandie had a really successful first couple of events, but it's also completely normal to have a hard time getting someone to an in-person event. I have experienced the gamut of all of that.
Carissa, did you read my comment?
Say it out loud.
I actually hosted one in December and no one showed up. So like I had some really successful ones, but by one in December, like, and you know what? Everyone that I invited, they still ordered, but I sat here and like my kids were like waiting for people to show up and no one showed up. And you know what? That is a stinky feeling, but it's okay. Like they were still interested. People just are busy. They're busy and that's okay. Try it again. Do it again.
Can you share with us, like, what were some of the thoughts that began to creep in that moment that were hard?
I mean, I think that we all have the nobody likes me effect. Like, I always take it as a personal reflection on me instead of thinking like, well, actually, do you want me to tell you some of the excuses? One of the girl, her husband cut his finger off. Like, I mean, people had like real life situations happening. And I instantly attacked myself and was like, okay, I must not have, made them feel welcome here, or I must not have, advertised enough or what have you. my people still ordered and it was still a success. I would have rather talked to them in person, but I followed up. I had coffee with two of them at one time, and another one I actually just met today and signed her today. But that was clear back in December. And I mean, these people have trailed along with me. I didn't give up. I stuck with them. But it's not a fun feeling to be, especially if you like go somewhere and nobody shows up, but you just have to remember like people are busy and that's okay. That's all right. They're going to ghost you online. They're going to ghost you in person. And that's not a reflection of you or your business.
And the people that don't ever put themselves at risk of feeling that way do not ever get lucky. They don't ever get to experience any of the rewards. The only way to get to those rewards is to put yourself at risk of feeling that way sometimes.
Yes.
And y'all have all heard the story. My first in-person event in years, I invited 70 plus people. No one came. And
they talked about that in Super Saturday. You know, a lot of them, I mean, we all have to have fear in order to kind of move ourselves up. I can't speak I mean, I've had failed parties, don't get me wrong. And I'm trying to do a lot of them. So I'm going to have a lot of failure in the middle of the success. I say that with caution because I know that I have a lot more failure ahead of me. And I'm just trying to keep the mindset up that it's going to be okay. Like people are going to fall off and it's fine. But I still know what I believe in, you know?
And I think we have to have a healthy, balance with this because yes, we're going for no. Like some nights we go to bed we were like, I'm not going to bed till I get 10 no's. That doesn't mean that we're actually approaching the conversation just waiting for them to say no. We're hoping they say no. Does it? Like
what if they say yes?
Yes, we're hoping that they will say that we'll find someone who's ready for change. So we have to watch it because the energy we bring absolutely affects the conversation. So
I will say too, a huge struggle for me personally, and I don't know why I struggle with this because you guys, we have the best coaches around and I come to all the calls and I have all the prep, but asking people to share the opportunity is one of the biggest parts of our business. And I fail at that so often. I have just now started, like literally in the last month. The month of December I had was there 4 or 5 fast start silvers because I just started asking and I got all of them in 1 month because guess what? I hadn't asked yet. So that's something else. Like, don't be afraid to ask. I still have a lot of people that they haven't told me no, but they're like me and they're like, not yet. And I remember how many of us were the not yetters. And like Emily Roberts, I loved her. She called herself the chronic quitter. That's me. Like we can all relate to that. And so when someone tells me not yet, I'm like, okay, sorry. Like I'll leave you alone. I quit, you know. Instead, we need to be like, oh, they said not yet. So that means next month I'm going to try again because I told Megan not yet 3 months in a row or 3 times in a row.
I'm getting questions about verbiage. Can you share what you had asked those people in December and they said yes to sharing? What's your typical ask?
Ooh, you know what? I would have to look one up. A lot of times, I did what Megan did, and it's like, okay, how are you doing on your products? How are you feeling this month? And then when they tell me what they're doing, it's like, hey, would you be open to sharing this? We have a really great comp plan. And if you get 3 friends, you could essentially get your products paid for. And if you don't want to, that's fine. I feel like it's my obligation to tell you about the opportunity. And I made $1,000 in my first month by signing up 6 people. And you could do that too. You can totally do that. And so I just tell them like, you can do this. And all you have to do is start with 3. Mm-hmm. That is the key, in my opinion. They don't have to be a senior gold like me right off the bat. Like they don't have to find 30 some, I don't know. I think there's like 58 of them now, but you don't have to find 30 people in a week. 3. If you can find 3 friends, and that is doable for everybody. Everybody can do that. You just have to make them believe that they can. And I'm still working on that.
Yes. Okay. So I was going to say, in regards to, okay, I plan to have this wellness party and I, worked really hard to send out invitations. Maybe I even got some yeses back. but then nobody showed up. So what I do, so someone said that they've done 3 of them and no one has come to any of them. And so one, I feel all the feels with you, but this might be a little tweak, a little pivot that will help you. So when you set up a wellness event in person, have in mind to have or even have an online one scheduled right after. That way, anyone that couldn't come, that responded like, oh yeah, I want to come, but I have this or that, or hey, yeah, I'm coming, and then they don't show up. Whatever it is, things come up for last minute for people. So I always have the mindset of whoever's meant to be there will be there, even if it's one person. Last week, Jen and I had an event at her gym, and we did one on Wednesday and another one on Thursday. We followed up on Thursday, and she's like, well, I only have one confirmed coming. Should we still host it? I'm like, heck yes, we host it. For the one person, yes, we're going to show up. And guess what? The lady came. We had a good chat. She ended up getting started on I think it was the Ultimate Weight Loss Pack. I think that's one she ordered. Jen's getting basically everyone signed up on the Triplex Reset Balance and the free extra bag of Slims, so they can do 2 Slims a day and their balance, do their reset box, and just have amazing results. So I'm so excited, but wanted to just mention that quick tweak. That might be a tweak on what you're already doing that will just give you courage and encourage anyone that could not come in person to just funnel them into an online event. The other thing is have a couple scheduled back to back. If no one comes, it's totally fine. You will not die. Remember that. Make a t-shirt. I will not die. You will not die. I promise. Just get ready for the next one, the next week. Like message all the people that were planning to come. Be like, oh my word, totally fine if you didn't come. I have another one scheduled. I know everyone's busy. I'm having coffee Saturday morning. Meet me at this coffee shop. We're gonna just do a little pop-up, chit chat, sip and see, try my stuff, and we can see if it's a good fit for you. If not, just come and have coffee. It'll be fun, So the other thing is the first ask about posting. I was going to just share mine. So kind of similar to what Brandie said, I ask them for their product experience. I say, hey friend, and a lot of times it's voice message. Hey friend, just messaging you real quick. I'm probably on my treadmill or like walking around my house. It's like so casual. So get casual. Just start practicing, even if you have to voice message to yourself multiple times before you're like, okay, that one sounded okay. Okay, it's the practice of doing it over and over and over again that's going to make you good and make you great and make you better, right? And I bobble my words all the times. And even imperfectly, sometimes I like totally mess it up, but I'm like, I'm sending it anyways. It's okay. Because they're yelling in the background. But hey, friend, just wanted to message you really quick and see what your product experience has been so far. I cannot wait to hear. Tell me the good, the bad, the ugly, all the things. And then I wait to see what they say. Celebrate when they're having amazing results. Help troubleshoot if they're not having, or whatever, if they're like needing some tweaks on their regimen. Okay. And then from there, I will say, hey, I know that you have people in your circle that would love to lose 5 pounds or whatever their win was, have less sugar cravings. I feel like we always downplay our own health win when in reality, Tamara Holloway, our upline by a couple, she has built a multi-million-dollar business off the fact that she doesn't have sugar cravings anymore. Heck yeah, that's important. And there's a ton of people in our circles that would love to not be enslaved to their sugar tooth, whatever, sweet tooth, right? So anyways, my first ask about posting is that simple. It's just like, hey, well, I'm sure other people would love to have those wins. Would you be open to sharing what your wins have been? The other thing, if they haven't been on the products yet, I will just, while they're in the car with me on the phone, and as I'm getting them signed up, I will say, hey, would you be open to making a little post on Facebook if I send you what to say? And the key is using that verbiage. Would you be open to making a little post on Facebook if I send you what to say? And then wait until they answer. And you just wait there. It's awkward or whatever, but don't make it awkward. It's okay. They're going to tell you what they think about it. Some people will be like, oh yeah, sure. Send it to me. I'll make a post. And here's the one tweak that I learned from Ignite Week last week, which is don't even have them get a picture with it. We're just trying to get the immediacy of them making a post. Just throw it out there and let's see what happens. It may fall flat. Perfect. It may blow up. Perfect. Whatever happens, happens. The right person, if it's meant to be, the right person will see it. Okay, so just have them put on the little color block, whatever the background, the color background, the color box. Select a color box, and this is the 2-liner you're going to have them post. And it's just that simple, basic post. Hi, friends. Super excited about these all natural supplements my friend Megan told me about. It's helped her with XYZ. I'm looking forward to XYZ. Curious who wants to try this with me? Question mark. Post and then help them help them work the post. Okay, so that is the simplicity of that. Okay. Da, da, da. Yes, using voice messages is very, very effective. Okay, wrapping up. Homework for today. Pop on the Power Hour tomorrow, if you can, 7:30 a.m. Central. We're going to pop on and share day 2, all about duplication. So if this was a teaser for you and you're like, woo, drinking from the fire hydrant, pop on again with me tomorrow morning and I will be delving in more in depth on the PLLP system, giving you specific verbiage, and we're going to be practicing it. So it's going to be a power hour mixed with training. So it'll be awesome. Drink some coffee, grab some tea, whatever, sip your pink drink. It'll be awesome. Okay. Also, the second homework assignment is to pop on the book study with me tomorrow. How to win friends and influence people. The things that our moms taught us or should have taught us that all of us need refreshers on. This is so incredible, so good. It's part 3. If you're following along, if you haven't been keeping up, it's totally okay. Pop on. It doesn't matter if you didn't read it yet. You will glean from just being on the call with everybody. You can also pop an earbud in and catch up while you're taking a shower tonight, while you're on the treadmill tomorrow morning, whatever, okay? You have got to be plugging into training. If you are not plugging into training every single week, like I'm going to actually get bolder and bolder and bolder about preaching about this, because if I don't have an earbud in during my week, I am in a funk. And like we have built to diamond twice and almost emerald, well, for the 3rd time. And I am here saying if we don't put ourselves in a position to be encouraged, we will be discouraged. And so it doesn't really matter who you listen to. Find someone that you like. Hop on our Tuesday calls every single week. I really, really, really want to see the attendance on these calls increase, because all of us are going to go grab one for next week, and we're going to have this attendance be like 60 instead of 30 for next week. Okay. So the next assignment is, the 3rd assignment is to PLLP yourself. Okay. And then work on applying it. And this is the concept called little fires everywhere. And the concept is that you are intentionally asking, when you look at the people on your team so far, maybe you have 5 people that have started with you so far. Maybe it's 2, maybe it's 20, maybe it's 57. You're going to go start little fires everywhere by asking. It is that simple. Okay. And there's going to be popcorn little +1s, popcorn silvers all around your team, simply because you believe in the person and you asked. All right. The 4th thing is, and the 4th and final thing is, know your numbers. I talk to so many people who have no idea what is going on in their back office. You have to get your brain on paper, get it mapped out. If you don't know how, we want to help you how. We want to help you how. That doesn't make sense. But you got to know your numbers. If you are stuck at gold right now or stuck at senior gold, one, we got to evaluate what you're thinking. But then the second part of that, the second tier, is what your numbers look like. If you're not sure what your numbers are in your back office, we got to go find out. And then we also have to figure out what the gap is from where you are at currently to where you want to be. That was William, by the way. He was saying hi. So finding out what that gap is. So if you're currently at, let's say, 120 points, or maybe you're at 150 points, if you're wanting to move the needle forward, we need to figure out what your goal is. Maybe it's a point goal. It may not be going to senior gold this month. You only have like 9 rank up months in your entire Plexus career, all the way to diamond. Okay. Not every month is going to be a rank up month, and that's okay. But we have got to be working intentionally to move the needle forward. Even if it's a point growth of 1 point, growth is growth, and growth takes work. Maintenance takes work. Right. And so we got to have that ball rolling forward, and knowing your numbers is a huge piece of that. So I'm going to ask you guys to go screenshot your back office where it is currently, move it back to last month and screenshot that. And then I want you to go send that to your sponsor or your power partner person and say, here's my numbers. Okay. There's no shame. I'm actually doing this with Jules on my team and also a sideline partner, Trisha Rieger. We did this for the last 2 weeks of December, and it was actually very valuable. Like, to have the accountability of screenshotting our back offices to each other every single morning. Whoa. Because when you look at your numbers, our numbers tell us a story, and our numbers can get us moving because we see, oh my goodness, like if I'm going to go maximize that $1,000 incentive this month, I gotta get that zero number up to 6. I need 6 personal enrollments this month. And who are my people from November? I don't even know. We got to go back in our virtual office to look at who signed up in November so that we can go follow up with them and retain at least 3 of them so that we can get that next cash prize tier. And then for the silver, we're going to be PLPing, and it's going to be awesome. The last 2 months of this, or 2 weeks of this month, are going to be incredible because you're going to take this training and apply it every single day that you work this week and throughout the rest of the month. And it's going to be awesome. So next week, remember we have coaching, and it is going to be an open coaching call. Well, I still have to ask, I still have to volunteer my hubby, but I'm planning for Justin and I to be on together and coach together. So if you would prefer to be coached by Justin, fabulous. Just specify that. If you would like to be coached, please put a little request in to Carissa and myself, and we will get some coachees in line. Okay, Brandie, thanks so much for sharing. Carissa, thank you, thank you. This was awesome. Any other questions, please add them into our chat threads. All right, see y'all soon.
All right, night, guys.
Good night.